Hey everyone! The next update to the 12 tools is live, and it's packed with upgrades that make your ISO compliance and management systems simpler, smarter, and fully yours. Biggest win? Our AI assistant Sam is now giving contextual advice across multiple tools, all running securely in your Google Workspace so your data stays 100% private. We've also added central configuration, new dashboards, timelines, process libraries, and more. Let us walk you through everything we've added.
So we've just finished with our version 2.6.4 updates of the 12 tools. I want to show you what we've added in this update. Starting with Tool 0. So Tool 0 has been designed to be a tool which configures the field labels for all the other tools that it's connected to. So it's a place where we can adjust the field labels to be consistent across all of the tools from one central place. By editing these fields, you'll then be updating the field labels in all of the connected tools that you've connected here to Tool 0. This makes it really easy for the company to retain a standardized vocabulary for certain field labels. Then we come to Tool 1, a visual diagram of how the business operates. It's usually completed here via a presentation. However, we've identified that a few are choosing to instead do it via a spreadsheet so that the data itself becomes standardized and can be used within other tools. So in order to help with this, we built a spreadsheet version of Tool 1. It allows you to add the processes just like you have on the presentation version. It pulls in, for example, the location information. Here you're able to define which standards you are aligning towards. Then you go ahead and you define the processes. You can choose which locations they are allocated towards. You can also choose whether or not these processes are handled internally, partially outsourced, or fully outsourced. Now we come to Tool 2. Tool 2 has been updated. The Advanced tab produces a dashboard. What we've then done is we've added Sam's advice. So Sam is our AI, and it's able to provide you contextually relevant advice based on whatever you've added to this document. What's really key about the AI is that it's running on your services. So none of this data is shared with us. So this means that you have full data sovereignty and there is no leakage of data. This is critically important. And it's one of the things that makes us so unique is that unlike other tools and services, especially around compliance, we don't extract your data. We don't utilize your data. This data belongs to you and you have full data sovereignty. So Sam, in this instance, it's running on your own Google Workspace. What it does here is it analyzes what you've added and then refers to the various ISO standards to identify which clauses are relevant to this particular strategic initiative. What we've also added is a suggested compliance evidence list that Sam produces for you based on what you've added. It also suggests a review frequency based on what you've added. Let's move on to Tool 3. We've added the IATF form. We have various other matrices in the works, so we'll be adding those too. Then we come to Tool 4, which are the supertotal diagrams. What we've done is we created this process library tab, which pulls the various data from these process tabs that you've created into one dashboard that you can use to track the various different processes. And then you have here on the right, Sam's advice. So again, Sam is analyzing this particular process. It understands all the things that you want to do. And then it provides you contextual advice for this process based on the various different ISO clauses, business process efficiencies, and compliance requirements. So that is what you have here on the right. Then we come to Tool 5. For Tool 5, we've added Sam's general advice here at the top. You can open and close this section quite easily if you don't want to always see it. It looks at your master document records matrix and identifies what are the biggest challenges, what are the biggest opportunities, and provides you guidance and support. We've then also added a dashboard. So here is a dashboard of all your various different documents, but you can also filter this by processes, right? So if you just want to look at a few processes, you can do that here. It identifies what are the total documents, which documents need to be updated, which are overdue. And then here it provides contextually relevant advice, which will regenerate once you've selected a different group of documents. We've then also added a timeline view. So this is a timeline on when audits are due for particular documents, and it auto colors them based on the status of the documents and if they are overdue. So in this example, we have a number of documents which are overdue. We have a number of documents which are due very soon. So those are marked as orange, and then a number of documents which are totally fine, which are marked as green. And these are grouped by process. So it's really easy for folks to track their own documents. Then let's go to Tool 6. Tool 6 has been updated with some additional tabs. We have a dashboard tab, which tracks an overall company-wide dashboard on training needs and the competencies that various trainers have within the company. SAM provides contextual relevant advice based on the data here and analyzes the top 20 training needs and then provides advice on which to do first. Then we have the individual report, which allows you to drill down into an individual's training record to see what they need. Here we see that this individual has particular competencies, provides you an average score, comparing it to the company average. So you can check on that here. Then let's move to Tool 7. Tool 7 has two additional tabs. We have the Advanced tab, which generates a Gantt chart of these particular items, as well as providing you SAM's advice for each of these process line items. It provides advice from the context of compliance and business process efficiency. We also then added a timeline view, and that brings us now to Tool 10. Tool 10 also has SAM's advice added here to the top. You can open and close this if you need, and it provides you relevant information based on the data here. We've also added a timeline on all of these tasks that you've added here, these actions that you've added to the action tracker. These are color coded based on their completion. So red items are very low in completion, green items are complete. So it's an easy timeline to view your various actions. Then we come to Tool 11. With Tool 11, we've added some additional forms, and each of the forms now also includes SAM's advice based on the various data you have added to this particular form. The same is true for the Tool 12 forms. So we've added a bunch of additional forms that you can utilize, as well as SAM's advice, which generates for each of the forms that we've added. So that concludes the additional features that we've added for the month of April. We update the 12 tools quite regularly, so we will publish the next release notes in a few weeks. Remember that if you want to make any suggestions on what we should add to the tools, you can do so here by coming to the 12 tools. For each of the tools, you can click in here and then vote on which other items you want to add. If you have your own suggestion, then just click Other and put a comment down below to add your personal suggestion. So I hope you find value in the tools, and see you next time. Bye-bye.